Hello, I'm Nick Heath, and joining me today are none other than 2014 Rugby World Cup winner and Mastercard ambassador Maggie Alphonsi and USA Rugby skip Kate Zackary. How are you both? Looking forward to our preview here for WXV3.
Yeah, I'm really good. I've done my prep, ready to go. I'm a little bit concerned being next to Kate because she's got great muscles and mine are slowly disappearing.
And Kate?
I guess I'll just have to lean into that physique and youth and hope I can keep up with some of this commentary.
Looking forward to that. Well, for the uninitiated, all 9 games in WXV3 will be taking place in the Dubai 7 Stadium, with 3 teams making their WXV debuts. It's all changed as newcomers Hong Kong, China, Madagascar and the Netherlands joined last year's competitors Fiji and Spain, while Samoa dropped down from WXV2. Let's take a look at the highlights from the inaugural WXV3 event.
Welcome to the future of women's rugby. Welcome to WXV.
So last year, Ireland won all 3 of their WXV3 matches, and well, that pushed them on to a great performance in the Women's Six Nations, which saw them take a place in WXV1. Well, as if we needed any more evidence that this competition in WXV3 really gives teams good momentum.
Yeah, momentum, but also just the importance of WXV3. You know, it's an opportunity for teams to have much more competitive games, guaranteeing at least 3 strong matches. Also, the opportunity to test out their team, test out combinations, and play in a different country. I mean, they get to play in Dubai. I mean, out of all places, I would love to be in Dubai with my flip-flops. So it's a great opportunity for teams just to get more games, more competitive matches, leading into what is going to be a very busy year.
Yeah, and it is, as Maggie says, those 3 extra test matches, just great opportunity for these teams.
Yeah, I mean, I think being a part of last year's inaugural WXV2, same case though, is 3 more games. Not everyone's afforded that opportunity, so it's more time together, more experience, and I think more importantly though, a little bit more just a chance to explore the world, explore other rugby countries, and just see kind of how the other half lives a little bit.
And I guess if any more motivation was needed, there are going to be 2 places to qualify for Rugby World Cup 2025 that will come from WXV3.
Yeah, I mean, you've got Fiji who's already qualified at this point, so there's 2 more spots open in that WXV3 team. I think you'll be looking for Spain probably to put their hand up for one of those spots, and I think the 3rd one's up for grabs, but most importantly, I think it's, you note Netherlands, who have constantly been fighting Spain in the European Rugby Women's Championship, so I think it'll be good to see how they go in this tournament.
So looking at the teams then, Spain were 5 minutes away from defeating Ireland and winning that WXV3 crown. So what can we expect from them this time around?
Well, look, for me, Spain have always been a fairly exciting, entertaining side. They've always been hovering around, the top 10 in regards to the world rankings. And they've got some really good players. I mean, Clara Piquero in particular scored 4 tries in the Rugby European Women's Championship, which enabled them to get their 7th straight title. So Spain, for me, are a team to watch out for and potentially could get that spot for the Rugby World Cup.
It was Fiji, of course, who finished 2nd in WXV3. How do you think they're going to go, Kate?
Yeah, I've had a look at their social media, seen what they've been up to this summer, and they're out on the sand dunes, surprisingly, putting in a lot of hard graft. But, even before that, they took on Japan, had a great victory there, followed that up with a tough loss to Australia. So, but more importantly, I think what I've seen in the last few weeks is they're in that daily training environment. They're working really well together. Yeah, so I think we can expect to see a well-oiled Fiji inside this tournament.
Yeah, when you talk about Fiji and their players, I think it's some key players, and Adita Melin-Ear in particular, she's someone who stands out for me. Scoring 6 tries in the WXV3 last year, I think she's someone we should watch out for. Could be exciting. Fiji are a side that have players that work hard for each other, so I can't wait to watch them play.
Yeah, would you have enjoyed those sessions up the sand dunes, Maggie?
I don't know, I'd be wearing my flip-flops and having a sangria in my hand. I don't know if I would be that good.
Keeping with the Pacific Island theme, I mean, Fiji to Samoa, they ultimately ran the USA pretty close in WXV2 last year, but ultimately it was 3 defeats. How do you see them going?
Yeah, going up against them last year, they were a really physical team. I enjoyed playing them as new competition I haven't played. But more importantly, I think to note this summer, I've seen 10 debutantes. So it'll be interesting to see who ends up taking the field for them.
But Samoa, they're such a physical side, aren't they? The players are so big and strong. But the question you have to ask is, how fit will they be for this tournament, especially as they're only having 5 games this year and 3 of them are going to be in the WXV. So I think it's going to be interesting to see how they perform, but most importantly, how they step up to the test.
So we've got 3 teams making their first WXV appearances: Hong Kong, China, the Netherlands and Madagascar. So how do you see these 3 faring?
I think they'll do well. Look, it's a big experience for them. New exposure in terms of different country. You've got Madagascar as probably the lowest ranked team in the whole entire tournament, but they're all still thereabouts with each other. So I actually think it's going to be a great opportunity to test themselves. And like most teams, I think every game they get better. So they're only going to learn and I guess develop with each other as they play throughout the tournament. So to answer your question, Nick, I think they're going to do really well.
Nice. Well, Madagascar, they're known as the Lady Mackies. It's going to be their first chance to play test matches outside of Africa. So proper tourists. I've spoken to Maggie before about being a tourist. Kate, what are you like on the road?
I'll admit, I'm probably not the world's best tourist, but if anything, I'm well versed in finding some good local coffee.
Rugby player loves coffee, shocker. So Madagascar then, they finished second in the Rugby Africa Cup.
Yeah, not only did they finish second, but that was only their 12th game ever as a team. So I think this will be a huge event for those players that I think no matter how they go, it's something that will be memorable. But I also think, they've kind of got that nothing to lose mentality. So it's exciting to see what will come.
Yeah, and Hong Kong, China, they beat Kazakhstan in the Asia Rugby Championship. There were over 1,000 in Amsterdam when the Netherlands beat Colombia in that promotion relegation playoff. So look, there are going to be some really good matchups across this one. Any of the weekends particularly standing out for you?
Well, I'm going to say the final weekend, and I'm going to say the match between Fiji and Spain. Look, whenever those 2 play against each other, it is close. And the last time they played, it was a narrow margin of a win. So that's the one I'm looking for. What about you?
Yeah, I've got to say the Netherlands-Hong Kong China game. Again, it's 2 teams we just spoke about who are new to this tournament. And again, I think they'll bring some exciting rugby, but also more than anything, it's just a huge opportunity for them to get on the world stage.
OK, well, finally, a chance for you to have a look over the whole of WXV3. I'm going to want a player from each of you to stand out. Who's it going to be?
You go first.
I thought long and hard about this, but I have to stick true. My roommate, Chris Blanca, who plays for Spain, she's returning from injury and is a consistent dart thrower in the lineouts for them.
I love that. So I'm going to go Spain as well. I'm going to say Laura Delgado. She is a talented athlete, former player at Gloucester Hartbury, a prop who loves to carry the ball and carry the ball hard. She's someone I think could stand out. But, when it comes to Spain, they've got so many good players. So I'm going to stick with a Spanish player.
Well, we shall see if your crystal balls are telling the truth. Now, don't forget, you can watch all of the games across every competition in WXV, and they are all for free on Rugby Pass TV. And keep those peepers peeled, because we've got previews coming up for WXV 1 and 2 very soon.